Senator, we know that earlier today, before the session went back into session at 10 o'clock this morning, you were one of those who said you wanted to hear from witnesses. That is apparently going to happen now. What is your reaction to this news that the Senate plans to move forward with witnesses?
I think it's a tremendous development because any fair trial enables both the prosecuting attorneys and the defense to call relevant individuals and provide information that bears on the case. And I really want to understand better what happened when close friends of Trump said to him, you know what, you need to call this off. You need to stop those folks from going down there and trashing the Capitol. You need to get them out of the Capitol. And he refused to act. Apparently, well, that information will be very useful. Knowing what that conversation was with Kevin McCarthy will be very useful. Meanwhile, if the defense wants to talk to Nancy Pelosi, well, so be it. She's going to tell exactly what happened when the mob stormed the Capitol.
Do you think, behind the scenes here, it sounds to me like you're saying you may be willing to vote in favor of allowing the defense to call Nancy Pelosi. What's being talked about behind the scenes in terms of how to work out an agreement? Would we see votes on individual witnesses? Would this be a free-for-all? Or is there an effort to try and choreograph this?
Every idea is on the table right now. It's kind of the wild, wild west here. I personally would like to see each side get a certain number of witnesses and let them choose who they think is relevant to depose. If that's 5 aside, 10 aside, obviously this should not turn into a circus where somebody says, I got to interview 1,000 people or so on and so forth. But if one side gets 5 witnesses, the other side should get 5 witnesses. They should be able to choose who they want. That seems like the fairest way to proceed.
Senator Merkley, we have Bruce Castor telling reporters that they would, if they can, call lots of witnesses. Do you worry that this opens the door to stretching out this process for a very, very long time and in the end won't change the result anyway?
Well, Bruce noted before us that he wanted to interview everyone who was under indictment for having committed crimes inside the Capitol. Well, what are those folks going to say? They're going to say, well, we came because Trump sent us, because they've already said that. Clearly, his goal would be to intimidate the House managers from calling anyone at all, saying we're going to turn this into a circus, we're going to interview 100 people, and so forth. That clearly does not serve the public purpose of getting to the truth. But an equal number of witnesses per side, that would be fair.
Senator Merkley, it's Casey again. Can I ask you about the letter that Mitch McConnell sent to his colleagues this morning? What bearing do you think that had on the House manager's decision to call witnesses? And does it tell you that this witness process is perhaps not going to change any outcomes?
You know, I think the conversation over witnesses was really triggered by the news last night about the conversation Kevin McCarthy had with the president. The fact that got into a yelling match. The fact that Kevin McCarthy was saying, stop this assault on the Capitol, and apparently, reportedly, the president wasn't interested in doing so, which really affirms other conversations we've heard about, but we don't have firsthand testimony on. And I think that firsthand testimony is what would be very valuable in this case.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.